So welcome back to my channel. I kind of want to do a different video today. It's actually not about my tanks, but about some potted plants that I've done over the last couple of months, particularly during lockdown. You can see here in this old jar that I have. It's actually, it has potting soil in it, but it has a couple of different plants in them. I actually have the tallest thing you see is kind of it looks like a fern, but it's actually a very unique plant. Some of you guys may know it's called a mimosa plant, but also known as a touch-me-not plant. It's one of those, part you've seen viral videos where if you touch it, it will actually close up their leaves or they'll start to sag. Um, this particular plant I actually got just for fun probably over a year ago, and I had some random seeds left over, and I was like, oh, I'm starting this little small potted plant, experiment, and I ended up just like throwing some of my random seeds that I left in there. And surprisingly, it did grow. I wasn't expecting it to grow because normally I would only grow this during the summer because the mimosa plant needs a lot of sunlight. But I guess the trigger was that I actually placed this potted plant underneath this LED lamp for my cherry shrimp tank, so the extra light really helped it keep going when I would normally put this on a windowsill during the summer when there is a lot more sun. You can also see kind of the shorter succulents on the bottom. Those are a plant that's called, I think the kind of more common name is Mother Thousands. It's a type of succulent. What's interesting about them is that they will grow little baby plants on their leaves with actual roots and everything. So, which tends to happen when you are, if it's not getting a lot of water, it'll start creating these little plantlets that you can then pull off, and then you can put in other jars or soil or sand. They will pretty much grow in anything. They just really need water. They don't need a very deep substrate to have their roots in. But they can grow really big and into a lot of different shapes and forms, really depending on how much sun, the temperature, how hot it is, and how much water they're getting. These are not plants that you can have outside if it really drops too cold for a long period of time. So, although I've done experiments to put them in pots that would go outside during the summer, they will definitely die closer to fall. So, but they make for a great indoor plant, and you can see in this one, and I'll show in part future, kind of more like houseplant videos, I guess. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see them. That they're at this point in this particular jar, they are kind of small, but I'll show you in other jars that I have the various shapes that they can get. So the big leaf plant that you can see here in this particular mixed jar of plants is actually, believe it or not, it's a mango plant or mango tree, I guess, if you want to call it that. What you do with the mangoes after you've eaten the mango, you get that really kind of large pit, right? That's actually not the seed itself, that's the cover. So, what you can do is you can use some very heavy duty kitchen shears and then cut on one end of that mango seed. And what happens is that it'll open up like a pocket. You can actually pull out something that looks more like a nut, like a nut or a seed, and that's what you plant. But in order to get it to germinate, what you'll actually do is you're going to take the the inner seed, wrap it in some moist towels, paper towels, put it in a Ziploc bag, but do not seal the Ziploc bag, and then put that on a windowsill. You can get it to germinate even during winter times when there's not a lot of sun or the temperature is not very warm. It really is the moisture that will get it to germinate. And once has that one little sprout, you can actually put it into um, any type of soil medium. I've found that they do better with very moist soil, so so that it doesn't dry out. So in this particular setup, I actually have it in this jar, uh, but I also recycle the water from my shrimp tank that has the shrimp poop and everything, the nutrients and the nitrates, and actually put it into this particular jar. So it's a very eco-friendly way of recycling. The what happens with our trade or what happens with our hobby. So it grows very well because obviously it's getting the nutrients from all the fish or shrimp poop actually, and it's gonna take a while for it to actually grow into a tree or something that will bear fruit. But I think like ornamentally, it looks kind of nice, as an indoor plant. It's definitely not something people would expect to grow, at least in any place that has a cold winter. But the fact that I've been able to keep it alive, at least as a potted plant, it's something that I'm kind of pretty proud of. I have actually have had other mango plants, that I've successfully germinated. So I would say this is actually on the easier side. A lot just like avocado seeds that you can sprout and then keep them as a house plant or a potted plant. So just to zoom in again so you can see the details. So if you think it's kind of interesting that I have all these various plants, I'll definitely post more videos about it. Um, because a lot of the fruits that we eat, a lot of the seeds that you have left over, you can actually germinate them. So I'll show you more examples of how you can end up with some tropical plants in your home if you live in a place that has four seasons, that be just to create some variety among all your various houseplants. So not a fish related video, but it is something that is connected to my aquariums. A resource that I get to use, which is essentially the water that I change out. So hopefully, if you find that helpful, if you do own any house plants and you're trying to wonder how do you make these things kind of into a symbiotic relationship, this is one example. So I will talk to you soon. And so like and subscribe this video. You want to see more, leave a comment. Tell me what you're interested in learning more about, and I'll hopefully be able to create a video for it. Thank you.